everybody? Welcome to another Ruby Tuesday. It's the Blitz Breakdown here on WPRI 12 Plus. I'm Eric Rube with the Providence Journal. JP Smollin's day off today with the kind of craziness with the NFL schedule. Guess who's back? My dad, Jake Russo, is back. Jake, Providence Journal reporter. Thanks for coming in last second.
Thanks for having me. It's like I never left. Hey, nice fall green jacket you get there. Where'd you get that?
It's this little course in Georgia.
It's very sharp.
Random. And I'm not trying to be presumptuous about it. It's just this little course that I visited over in the spring.
I love it.
That's nice. Well, it's good you dressed up today too, because one of us had to. Have you been sad these last couple of days? Because I have.
I got to tell you something. I woke up this morning. It was a little chilly. I let my dog out to go to the bathroom. He kind of looked back at me like this, gave me like, what is this type weather? I got to tell you something. I'm not sad because playoffs is right around the corner.
That's a good answer. I'm sad because I can't believe the season's almost done. It's crazy. Week 7 it came and went. We only had one game on Thursday, a bunch of them on Friday. I was covering cross country all day on Saturday. Managed to catch a good football game, but it was a very interesting Week 7. We didn't have a ton of big matchups, but were there any games that caught your eye this weekend?
Right. Before we get into that, Eric, I know this is a football show, but a lot of good high school playoff games going on. Just if you can't get out to a game, soccer, field hockey, volleyball, whatever. A lot of good high school sports going on this week.
Yeah, I want to see more kids at games. I want to see more cheering and supporting your team. Maybe some signs with funny puns. I'm a big pun guy.
Yeah.
That's a rapper, by the way. I know he's a little before your time. I kind of look like him. Maybe I could. No, I'm not going to do. I already got my Halloween costume picked out. South Kingstown's Terry Lynch knows all about it. But, yeah, we had some football last week and some very interesting games.
Yeah, I think we're starting with St. Ray's narrowly escaping Cumberland.
I never in a million years would I have thought how that game was going to play out. I was almost surprised when I saw the score. More surprised that it was 14-7 after the first half, might have been second quarter, they scored the second touchdown, and no one scored again the rest of the game. And I don't know if this says more about Cumberland or says more about St. Raphael.
I know Cumberland lost Josh Lima. He went to the Jaguars, and good for him. Cumberland's had a little bit of a rough season. But coming in, before all that happens, the Clippers are the Clippers. So I think it just says, it took a little bit, and again, they didn't win. But they were very competitive against a Saints team that is, I think, number 3 in the standings right now.
Cumberland, from what I've been told, they've had some injuries this year. They've been kind of dealing with their big strength was supposed to be that line and the defense, and it's been tough. And the thing I like, this goes back to like what we enjoy about high school football is like, yes, it's been a tough season for Cumberland. They had hoped to contend for a state title. That's not going to happen with the way the RPI is going. But they're still going to get into the secondary playoff, and it's a loss. But it was against the St. Ray's team that's going to be competing for a state title. And I feel like now it's like, okay, let's see what the Clippers can do to finish the season. Because you win a couple games in that little bonus playoff thing. I think that it matters for the program. It
matters for the program, and you can roll the end of the season into next year and say, hey, we found our stride. Ultimately, when it mattered the most, if we had made the playoffs. But take that energy and roll it into next year.
But if you're St. Raphael, I have to imagine you're happy you won. I can't imagine you're happy with how it turns out. Because I feel like if you're that kind of team, you want to win a state championship, you got to beat a team like that by more. Yeah, it has to be convincing. Yes, defense plays great, giving up only 7 points. But the offense, it's been shining all year, and for it to just completely fall flat after kind of laying an egg against LaSalle, like, I need more out of this team because the talent, Jake, the talent is there.
I know. This is a little bit of coach speak. A win is a win, a coach will always tell you. But to your point, some wins are not like other wins.
Especially this time of year.
Right. If you're the Saints, you want to roll there. You want to feel good. Win by, 21. I think that would have been a fair margin there. But they escape. They get the win. Go into the playoffs. You got to play a little bit better.
Speaking of teams that needed a convincing win, it wasn't 21, but it was 20. I was there Saturday night. Classical put on a show against Pontiac. Yeah. I'm in Pontiac Green right now. Everyone knows I live out there. I wanted to see a good football game, and I did. It was a much different game than I thought. Classical, showing off some toughness up front. I don't know that we've seen this team perform like that up front. Like they're starting to hit.
Right, it's impressive. And I think going into the game, I called it the granddaddy of them all. Move over Rose Bowl. Give me Classical and Pontiac, right? And the purple. Tough place to play, and they came out and they showed what they can do. And I have to imagine after last year's Super Bowl loss, they had a little bit extra juice.
Yeah, and it was. I talked to Parker Howley after the game, and I was like, "Was that on your mind?" And he was like, "Well, we were trying not to talk about it, but they knew there was a bit of that." And I think the thing, if you're Pontiac, like, bottom line, you got your butts whooped up and down the field in the second half. It happens. But last year, what happened? They got absolutely destroyed in the fourth quarter of that game against Classical, lost by 1 million. Dummies like me were like, oh, there's no chance Classical loses the Super Bowl. Pontiac won the Super Bowl. Pontiac is tough. Zach Rocchio they ran for over 300 yards as a team in this game. Like, that's got to show you a little bit of something. Like, they've got to figure out the defense and how to slow down that passing game, but I don't think this means Pontiac can't win a Super Bowl.
No, of course not. Championships aren't won on October 27th. Those are for a few more weeks.
They are if they're cross country sometimes.
This is true. My guy Eric covered 6. Was it 6 class championships?
No big deal.
Yeah. But back to Pontiac, they're not going anywhere, right? They're going to be playing tough in a few weeks, and we'll see what the Chieftains can do.
Yeah, in Classical right now, I think the runaway favorite, or not, I don't want to say runaway, they're the favorite in D3. That performance showed a lot. They're going to have a big one coming up this week against Johnson, which we will talk about later in the pick segment. That should be fun. The last game, probably the craziest game. We were trying to figure out, I'm at cross country talking to my guy Ellis Santoro, and he's like, oh, I'm going to head over to Scituate, and I'm like, oh, the Mariners are probably winning big. They were not. Narragansett needed to come back late to beat Scituate. I know Narragansett's dealing with some injuries, but I feel like did that open your eyes a little bit?
Yeah, I was at PC men's basketball. Otherwise, I probably would have been at that game. Narragansett kind of essentially a walk-off win on Alacase's PAT. I think it was a 21-20 final. But Narragansett, I know that's a long drive, early morning, but you kind of got to get off the bus this time of year ready to play. They dug themselves out of a hole, which that's good to see, at least if you want to be optimistic. To be able to dig yourself out of a hole this time of year is good. But
I like the next man up mentality. I think without Owen Oakes for that game, it's been hurt. A couple other guys, and for a kid like Christopher Wynn, one of the Providence Journal Player of the Week nominees this week, he caught an 82-yard touchdown pass that got the lead back down, came up with the blocked field goal that set the points. Like, you need guys like that to step up. And we were there in North Smithfield when Narragansett lost that game, and I don't know. I feel like it's a good rebound win for them. Yes, you want to have a better win, more comfortable win, but to win with a little grit, I think that's really good for them heading into the last week of the regular season and then into the playoffs.
Right, because these games in the playoffs are going to be tight, and to, like I said, dig yourself out of a hole, win the game. That's good if you want to be optimistic.
Yeah, just a good week of football again. We're hoping for another one this week. It's no days off season, so I guess the only time we're going to get is going to be this little break we're about to take. We'll be back in about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and we'll talk some more with our dark horse playoff players to watch in this postseason. Welcome back. Blitz Breakdown. I am wearing Crocs. I am Eric Rube with the Providence Journal, dressed up as a 20-something. My man, Jake Russo from the Providence Journal, dressed up as a middle-aged dad. Good for you, Jake.
We switched roles today.
Yeah, we have to. I'm young at heart. You are an old soul. It's good. This is why this combination works for us, and we're having some fun on this show. And you said it. It's playoff time.
Yeah.
Getting excited, getting a little antsy, getting jumpy. It's not just the Celsius speaking right now.
You sure about that?
It might be the Celsius speaking right now. Last week, JP and I kind of delved into some dark horse potential teams that could win Super Bowls, teams that aren't teams that people might not be looking at. Now, we're going to kind of talk about some individuals. Every Super Bowl team needs to have that one kid who steps up and does something that we haven't seen all season. So, let's kind of fire through these. Let's go through the divisions. Let's see if we can pick some kids who we think could stand out. And I'm wearing green. Everyone knows my kids. My 2 daughters go to Hendrick, and everybody knows that. So we're going to start, and we're going to talk about the Hawks. Elijah Gurton probably shouldn't be a dark horse candidate because he's physically one of the most gifted players in the state of Rhode Island. Defensively, unbelievable. But I think he's a dark horse for one reason. Because if he flips the switch, as my youngest daughter likes to call it, if he turns into animal mode, I don't know if anyone's going to stop him. You're 6'3", you're 230, you're faster than everyone, you're stronger than a lot of kids. I think he might be the difference between the Hawks winning and losing a Super Bowl.
Yeah, matchup nightmare is what you're saying.
I don't know how you cover him unless you get, find an NFL linebacker. There aren't a lot of those in Rhode Island, but maybe we got one.
Right. So the Hawks, we'll talk about more Hendricken later, but they have Portsmouth coming up, and
perfect. Do you have a player from Portsmouth to talk about?
I do have a Portsmouth player. Mine's Jackson Hackley. Portsmouth scores all these points this season. It's a bit of a dream season for the Patriots, and I was talking to Adam Canini earlier this year after one of their wins, and I was like, Adam, what makes this team so good? What makes this offense just run, basically? and he said how many different ways they can score, but then he shouted out Jackson Hackley, and he was like, a lot of people don't talk about him. Jackson's like their 2 or 3 out of the backfield. And when you think about it like that, Adam's completely correct. Like, when in a normal year, maybe Jackson's the number 1 or whatever, but he's their 3rd option out of the backfield, and he's making plays on defense, and you're like, that makes sense why this offense is scoring so many points. Jackson, I think twice this year, at least at the end of the first half, has had a big interception to kill a drive for the opposing team. He just makes plays, and that's the kind of guy we're looking for.
You need guys like that to win championships, and we'll probably hear something. We could be hearing something maybe as soon as this Friday night. That's right, they're playing on Halloween. Moving down to Division II, I saw a team in East Providence, and we talked about this pre-show. There's a guy in the Townies that's been catching your eye who not a lot of people are talking about. You could say he likes to cook on the field.
Yeah, it's Xavier Hopper. And Mr. Hopper, I apologize if I didn't get your first name correctly there, but I saw you against Pawtucket. He gave Pawtucket headaches all night, and their coaching staff at one point says, "Somebody please block 21." And he had the greatest chirp back. He just simply said, "You can't." That's no. That is the best type of chirp, because you're not going to get an unsportsman like that. You're not getting 15, but it's like, hey, you're not going to do anything because you can't. Best type of chirp.
That might be number 1 after a certain quarterback from a certain Division IV team screaming liar at the officials, but we won't get into that. But Mr. Hopper, I saw him play against Moses Brown, and you can see it. He's got it there. And we talk about offense. We talk about defense. We don't talk a lot about?
Special teams.
We don't talk about special teams, Jake. And I'll tell you what, South Kingstown's got a guy who I think might be crucial to their championship hopes. Kai Sorleen, kicker, wide receiver, athlete, track kid, going to be competing at track at the University of Rhode Island, I believe. The biggest thing in the playoffs, these extra points matter. Every single one matters. The kid doesn't miss. That means they know going in. They get in the end zone, that's 7 points every time on that scoreboard. That's a huge advantage for the Rebels over every team. But, we talked about it. They've been using him as a weapon with these onside kicks where he's not trying to, like, bounce it up the ground and hope for bounce. He's just smoking it into people. Is it just he's just taking it in and, like...
Against Pawtucket, they scored in 5 plays on their opening drive and got the ball back right away because you can tell it's not by accident, because he's just that talented that he can put the ball where he wants it. Stokes it off the up man. SK recovers and scores again 14-0 before Pawtucket has a play from scrimmage.
Those are the plays that matter. I wish I had that type of accuracy off the tee. Boom, golf joke. Moving on to Division III, I'll tell you what, Mount Hope. I'm talking about Classical. I'm talking about Pontiac. I'm talking about Johnston. No one's talking about the Huskies, and they have been winning some football games. They are winning ugly. They are winning tough, and they got a running back who can get it done. Robert Annis has been playing terrific. Gritty and tough. He just fits this whole team. They've got a lot of guys like that, but I feel like postseason, and we've talked about it all year, run game matters. Run game wins playoff games. Is that what the Huskies need? They need dudes who can run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball. And when it gets cold, run the ball. Do what you know how to do, and Mount Hope knows how to run the ball. They lost last year in the playoffs, had a really successful season. Let's see if they can keep that going via the ground game.
Another team that's been running the ball pretty good, North Providence. There's a kid in there catching your eye.
Yeah, Xavier Estrada, and apologies to North Providence. I think all of the Providence Journal took Lincoln.
I didn't.
To win last week.
I took the Panthers, who weren't playing in that game, which was strange.
Yeah, a little bit of a discrepancy there, a controversy with the Providence Journal sports team. But North Providence, Estrada, he's a freshman for them, gives North Providence a bit of a spell. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to get you down. He's going to fall forward. North Providence just has these athletes that they come out with.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it reminds me a lot. A couple years ago, they had Juan Baez, I believe his kid's name was, number 2 back behind Mikey Allard, and he was a great change of pace guy. Kind of came in, gave Allard a spell, and now with Ray sitting, knowing they have a kid they can give the ball to, I think it's going to be a big help. Big game for the Cougars, who were coincidentally playing Mount Hope. Another game. Oh no, we're not talking about that game this week, but you can read about it in ProvidenceJournal.com. Division 4, Smithfield. Why not? Apparently, I'm looking at our notes. We just took matchups, which I don't think we planned it that way, but it just kind of happened. Tell you what, Smithfield, defense. We've talked about it. Defense can play. Kid I'm looking at that could be a serious change in their championship hopes. Kyle Blakely, sophomore quarterback. He is learning the offense. It takes time. You're a sophomore. You're a first-year starter. You got to figure the position out. He's starting to get better, starting to get more control. He is an incredible asset with his feet. He can throw it a little bit too. His dad, I went to high school with his father. His father was an all-stater, I believe, in football, those great East Providence teams. And the kid's got it in his blood, and he understands. And just watching him play, he's calm and composed. And I think that's the biggest thing for a sophomore. And if he puts it together in his postseason, you got a team that plays defense. That's a scary thought, especially in Division IV. But there's another quarterback, Jay, catching your eye.
Yeah, it's going to be Alec Hayes against Narragansett, and Smithfield's going to have to scheme to stop Narragansett's offense. The Mariners have kind of played through their offensive line, but Hayes really orchestrated that comeback this past weekend. Narragansett, we talk about their offense all the time. It just seems like they always have somebody that can make plays for them, and that's been Hayes down the stretch here.
I don't know how many football players they got, but they got athletes everywhere, and they all play hard. They find a way to pick winners, and so do we. That, my friends, is a professional segue. We are done with our second segment of this show. It's going to be me. It's going to be Jake. It's going to be super producer Jillian making our picks in the third segment. We'll come back in 2 minutes. And we're back here. Third segment on the Blitz Breakdown WPRI 12 Plus app. Make sure you have it downloaded. ProvidenceJournal.com. Everywhere else you can watch it. I'm Eric Roop with the Providence Journal, joined by Jake Russo of the Journal. He's dressed up like a grown-up. We got super producer Jillian, and you know why she's here. It's time to make picks. The state cannot get enough of Jillian's picks. She's been crushing it week after week, inspiring these kids to play better football, because all I hear, we got to prove Jillian wrong. We got to prove Jillian wrong.
Jillian, let's get the overhead camera. Give us a wave.
We can get the hand in there. There it is. There's super producer Jillian. She's the best in the business on the ones and twos for a reason. She's crushing it for us. And we're going to try to crush out these picks. We still are undefeated. I've never picked wrong in my life. We're going to start with the big one on Halloween. I will not be there because I will be trick-or-treating like a grown-up is supposed to. Hendricken at Portsmouth. Jake, this is ready for crazy statements? Biggest game in the history of Portsmouth High School football's program. Go.
Yeah, not a bad take, but I give a little shout out to last year's team that won this game.
They did.
That game, I mean, already cemented, is up there too.
They did, but this one, there's a lot on the line. This one, they need the home. It's home field's on the line. They need to win this game to get a home field playoff game. That's going to be the biggest thing, I think. I keep looking at their schedule. I know they're talented. I'm a big Adam Canini guy. Joe Sanderson, Hackley, everyone. This line, they're a good team.
I know where this is.
This is the inspiration, but it's there. They've got everything in place to win this game. But my kids go to Hendricken, and I'm taking the Hawks because their defense is incredible. And I think defense wins football games, sometimes championships, as I've been told. Jake, who are you taking?
This past week, I was at Westerly Burrillville. Wrote a column about how these two programs are very similar. Small schools that like to punch above their weight. The community rallies around them. And I think Portsmouth's the same exact way. They're a smaller school, cut from the same cloth as Burrillville and Westerly. I got Hendricken.
Wow. I wonder what super producer Jillian thinks.
It's smart to take the team with the best player on the field, so I'm going to have to take Jeremy Seedy and Hendricken.
Jillian knows ball. Moving on to our Division II picks, we've got West Warwick taking on Westerly, a rematch of last year's Division II semifinal. This is a big one I'd love to be at, but again, I'm trick-or-treating. I'm getting Snickers bars. I'm going to get some Hershey's bars. Peanut butter cups, my kids have no chance of seeing those. I have no chance of seeing this game, but who's going to win it? What do you think about this game?
Give me Westerly.
Bulldogs.
The dream season rolls on. Their offense is too good. Their defense is legit. Calvin Hill can run the ball. Give me the Bulldogs.
Westerly should win this game by 40 points, maybe more. West Warwick plays tough. I like Nathan Petrarca a lot. It's really hard to defend 6'4", 215. West Warwick's going to make a game of this. Everyone in Westerly terrified. They're going to have their screen masks on. They're going to be horrified about what's going down.
Spooky hours.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the Wizards, the Magic. But it doesn't matter because Caleb Williams is going to come through in the end with the defensive play that wins Westerly this ball game. Westerly is the pick. Super producer Jillian, who you got?
Landon Husero throws darts in every single one. It's a bullseye. I'm going to take Westerly.
Guys, I told you, she knows ball. Jillian knows ball, and that's why she's the super producer. Moving down to Division III, again, this is a game I was like, I couldn't wait for this game. Johnston at Classical, Thursday night in Providence. my daughter has her high school chorus concert debut. It was a tough choice for me. So I looked at Avery right in the eyes. I said, Avery, I love you. And then I paused and realized I'm not going to be a bad dad. I'm going to a concert. But I really, believe me, it was a tough call. I think my wife threatened divorce. Johnson Classical, I love both offenses. You got a freshman quarterback with the Panthers. You got a defense that's playing good. You got my favorite 2 players in the state with Nick Testa and my guy, Nate Delamorte, the Meatball Bros. I think Johnson can win this game. But here's the thing. Almora Field's tough to play at. Classical's playing big. Classical suddenly has some toughness up front. You know who we're going to see in this game? And we're going to just try to say a name that we might not pronounce correctly, but we're going to go for it. Tamid Mashoud, huge game running the football in this one. He's going to go for 150 plus. He's going to score touchdowns. The offense is going to be flying. I'm taking the purple, and they are going to be clicking heading to the playoffs. Jake, what do you think about this game?
I like it. I won't be at this one, but the GOAT, Bill Koch, will be for us.
The GOAT stands for greatest of all time, and that's what BK is. Just everyone remember that.
Absolutely.
Respect him.
I just like what Classical did up front against Pontigansett. Like you said, Johnson's got size, but give me purple at home.
And can I just say a thing about their toughness? Very quietly, one of the assistant coaches, he's a teacher at Classical. He was coaching at Hendricken for 10-plus years, coaching that line. He's there at Classical. I don't think that's a coincidence. And that's what wins games. Coaching is huge, especially when all of a sudden their offensive line's performing like I've never seen. And I really think it's a big thing. So shout out to all the coaches, especially the assistants who we never talk about or we never notice. And I feel bad that I forgot names because sometimes I do that. But you know who doesn't forget names? Super producer Jillian. I wonder who she's taking in this one. Let's find out.
So one of my favorite songs, the Halloween songs, Purple People Eaters. So we're going to go with Classical.
That's what we call Rube Logic. What a genius pick. She's working on levels that we can't even understand. Jillian knows ball, and that's why she's taking Classical. Last game on the schedule. Last game that we're picking for this one. D4. Narragansett at Smithfield. Smithfield at Narragansett. That game's biggest reason why I'm disappointed about not being at this game. You go to Narragansett after you go to Poncho O'Malley's in Wakefield. They make the best wings in Rhode Island. No free ads, but they do.
This one's close.
I know. And the problem in covering high school football is there's no injury reports. So we don't know who's healthy, who's not, who's playing, who's not. And I like defense a lot. I really do. But I like Alec Hayes and how he's playing. And I like Chris Wynn. And I like the grittiness. And I like the mad professor, Matt Blessing, and what he does and what he's going to pull out. And he's going to do something crazy that we've never seen. Some gadget play where like a lineman throws a ball. Guess what? The Mariners are going to win this football game. And they're going to be looking real good heading to the D4 playoffs. Jake, what do you got?
We're 4 for 4. I'm going Mariners too.
This is so boring.
Narragansett, like I said earlier, just gritty win against Scituate. I think this one is more comfortable, and they roll into the playoffs feeling pretty good, and with the number 1 seed.
I think, honestly, if Narragansett lost to Scituate, I would have been Smithfield. But the way when a team wins a game like that, I get pumped. You know who else gets pumped for football? Super producer Jillian. Jillian, what you got?
So I've been to nice beaches in Narragansett, but I don't know if they have any in Smithfield, so the Mariners are my pick.
She's not wrong. I don't know if there are any beaches in Smithfield, and I'm pretty much up there all the time. Do you know of any beaches in Smithfield?
I don't, but I've been to Narragansett Beach plenty of times.
Yeah. I'll tell you what they do have in Smithfield. No, I can't think of anything right now. Oh, no, they have a park Deerfield Park. Deerfield Park's unbelievable. Great playground. My kids used to go there all the time. You ever play on the swings with some dew on them? Not good. When you have kids, Jake, at some point, just remember that. Don't go to the park late fall. Kids will get wet, and then you're like, why did I do that?
You're essentially one of my kids at this point.
I know. I am a child. And I'm all done for the day. I need a nap. And, we're all done here. The Blitz Breakdown, WPRI 12+. I'm Eric Rue, Providence Journal. That was Jake Russo with the Providence Journal as well. That's how tired I am. Super producer Jillian, killing it as always. We know ball. We're excited for Week 8 coming up in a few days. Jake, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We'll be back here next week. Can't wait to see you then. Guys, have a good weekend.